When people ask me how to start oil painting, they usually expect a list of materials, and I do have one on my website and it's useful, but somehow they're still unsure what they really need. Oil painting has a reputation for being complicated, expensive and intimidating, but most of that confusion comes from focusing on the wrong things too early. And I have made those mistakes when I first started, so if I could go back and talk to my younger self, here's what I would tell him. One is you need the right setup. So you don't need to immediately create a romantic studio with north light and brick walls and fancy decoration, but you just need something simple, a consistent place where you can work without friction. In the beginning, I always had to get rid of all my materials and pack it all up after the end of each session. This was a nightmare. So just need a table, an easel, decent light in a corner of a room, and enough space to leave your setup in place between sessions. That point is crucial because if you have to set everything up from scratch every time you paint less, it takes a lot of time to set it up and clean it up. So really you need to optimize the limited amount of time that you have in the day to practice your painting, and having a good studio is really key. Lighting also matters, way more than most people think. Bad light can really sabotage your color judgment before you even touch the brush. So a neutral, consistent light around 5000 K, preferably one direction, not multiple lamps fighting each other, so one single big powerful one. Check out photography lights, for example. They're relatively cheap nowadays, these big soft boxes. So once you have your little setup in the corner of a room, you're ready to go. So what kind of canvas should you start with? Choose the right painting surface and don't paint on crap. This is one of the biggest beginner mistakes. Painting on a bad surface, having bad results and blaming yourself for those bad results, when really the culprit is just the poor quality of the texture. You need to avoid those very cheap canvas boards, cheap cotton canvases with loose weaves. If I had to start again, I would begin by preparing small panels like MDF panels that I would saw to the desired size, relatively small, and just use a good quality artist gesso, because this is the most stable, forgiving and predictable, and also super cheap. So just use MDF board, sand and gesso with 2 or 3 coats, and canvas is fine later when you actually know what you're doing, but to really experiment and try your hand with your very first paintings, I think those very small panels can be a great way to experiment on a budget. For small studies, I also really like specially prepared paper like this one by Canson called figuration. It has a great texture, it's easy to cut to the desired size. This is what I use to do a lot of studies and practice. When the surface is right, suddenly blending starts to make sense, edges start to behave properly, the brushwork stops feeling random and slippery and out of control, and you start actually understanding how it works. And this is the crucial thing that you want in the beginning, a surface that reacts to your brushwork, to your brush mark. Don't get any of these very cheap ones, the very cheap surfaces. They will hurt your progress and they will discourage you before you even have the time to make a difference with the paint. So number 3, let's talk about paint. Here's the truth. You don't need 100 colors, but you need decent paint to start with. And this is where you have to watch your budget carefully, because I've wasted too much money trying paint tubes that I never really used. So don't repeat my mistakes. It's tempting to cut costs with what they call student grade oil paints, and they might seem fine at first, they are, but very often they contain fillers that will kill the chroma and make mixing frustrating. So if you can, invest in a small selection of artist grade colors instead of a large cheap set. And I've made a list of 15, it's in all the description of all my videos, but if you really want to get started, you can only start with this smaller selection of 10, and here they are: titanium white, yellow ochre, transparent red oxide, burnt umber, pyrrole red, quinacridone rose, ultramarine blue, ivory black, phthalo turquoise, and phthalo green yellow shade. And you'll see with this relatively small selection that it still allows you to mix and paint anything in the world, that what matters most is learning how the colors behave. And a limited palette with high potential, like the one I suggested, will teach you far more about temperature, value, harmony than a huge selection will. Because with a very wide selection, you're always tempted to go out and reach for a different paint tube, wherein in fact you could be making the color that you have in your head happen with the limited selection. And when I was a student, when I was just starting, I thought more paint tubes just meant more control, but I was wrong. It's actually the opposite. Number 4, brushes are great, but they're consumables. Brushes are tools and they're not magic wands. So at first I really wanted to pay close attention, like Harry Potter in the book, just carefully trying to find the perfect brush. But the reality is you don't need to worry that much about it. Right now, most brushes are kind of decent as long as they're artist quality. You don't necessarily need expensive hair types like natural hairs. What you need is a few reliable workhorses that will let you block in, model form, and control edges. So for beginners, simple bristle or synthetic brushes in a few sizes are perfect. Flats and filberts will take you very far. Don't take brushes that are too soft. Don't take brushes that are too stiff. Try to find a middle ground with snappy but yet a soft caressing touch. The real skill you'll find is not in the brush, it's in how you load it, angle it, and how you decide to sometimes barely touch the paint and just control it. But keep in mind that your brushes have a limited lifespan. You will wear them off, so don't get something too expensive, especially in the beginner. Get some decent artist quality brushes, but synthetic will do just fine for the beginning. And when you start knowing what you do and when you start understanding brushwork and brush control, then you can check out some of those natural hair brushes, some of those more tricky shapes. But for the beginning, just get a normal set of brushes that would be perfectly fine. Number 5, what to paint for your first projects. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They want to paint everything at once. They want to paint portraits when they don't have the level in drawing first, or landscapes or imagination painting. But the result is they try to do too much at the same time when they should focus on very simple exercises that have been extracted so that you just get the core of one skill that you can practice at a time. And this is what the old masters used to do when they started. They worked on simple plaster casts, on copy exercises like the bark plates, on limited color studies. And it's not just, they weren't just doing that because they love doing, boring stuff, but because these exercises, they teach you how to see first. It's about how the visible world is structured and how you can represent that accurately on a two-dimensional surface. And painting is an incredibly complex thing if you think about it. There are so many skills involved at the same time: values, proportions. When you paint, you have to take all these things in consideration at the same time. But when you are learning, you really want to divide it into a manageable amount of skills, and you want to, if possible, work on skills that have been isolated from the others. So for example, just work on values, just work on proportions. And if you want to do something like that, we do that every week in the Atelier of Figurative Arts. The resources are free for you to download. You don't even need to be a member. You can just get there, just grab the resources and start practicing. And if you like what you see, you can also join the Patreon for exclusive content, critique, and feedback. When I first started, I didn't understand how to actually get better. And this might be the most important part. The thing is, you get better by making things. You don't get better by waiting for inspiration or trying to make something original. Forget about originality, forget about producing something artistic at first, and just get rid of the idea that this little painting study is going to end up in a museum. Nobody will ever care about this. So just focus on building your skills. And when building your skills, keep in mind that making mistakes and correcting the mistakes is part of the process. When I was younger, I thought that the pros, they make fewer mistakes or they make no mistakes at all. That's not true. The difference between a beginner and a pro is that the pro just sees the mistakes faster and fixes them almost instantly, which gives us the impression that a pro artist doesn't make mistakes, but they do. And improvement happens when you learn how to train your eye to notice what's wrong and to teach your hand how to respond instantly, how to understand So you want to paint often, you want to paint and you want to practice with single skill practice. You want to finish as much as possible when you start something. Your objective guide in this regards is the reality of your reference, your model. Try to stick to the model as much as possible. If it doesn't look like a mirrored reflection of your model, it means that you're not good enough. So you need to build the skills until you can get there. For some people, it's very difficult, which is why we have the Atelier of Figurative Arts, where we give critique and we work on those skills together. But above all, you have to accept that mistake is part of the process and that being bad at first is not a failure, it's not your fault or anything, it's just the entry fee and it will all go away with practice. And the final thing to keep in mind is that oil painting is hard just because it demands patience, attention, and honesty. But once you stop chasing shortcuts and start focusing on those fundamental skills, it becomes incredibly rewarding. And it is actually one of the easiest painting mediums to use. Like technically and practically speaking, it's one of the easiest things to paint with. So if you're just starting out, don't try to do too much at once. Do a few things well, consistently, and keep working, because that's how real painters are made. Check out this video next, and as always, my friends, joy and inspiration to you. Bye.